Okay, change of plans. I am using the version of Scum VM that came with the GOG version now. Seeing if this helps. I can see the fisherman from up here. Or from down here. He's over there. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. It appears to be recording correctly. I have had a lot of problems recording with Scum VM in full screen before. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. He ignores us. Look at that fishing pole waggling around. We'll follow him in again and have a conversation. No, he's not coming in. Yes, no, maybe. It looks like there's a whirlpool to the north. But right now I want to explore dry land first. And I especially want to get Cupid's bow and arrow back. Even that audio effect is very low. Okay, let's talk to the man a couple of times. I'm not going to do his accent again, I promise. Okay, they're irritated by our presence, so let's leave. Should we listen to him? I suppose we should. See, that audio's okay, but when we start getting some other effects playing, it is going all over the place. Okay, to stream. Do we have a unicorn here? We do. Can I talk to the unicorn at least? You call to the wild unicorn, but it trots away at your arrival. Last time we just had to look at it and it yeeted out of here. Alright, so can we get Cupid here somehow? There we go. Alright, you're looking at this running in 640 by 480 now, which is being upscaled for YouTube, because reasons. Yep, let's make a save. Can we grab his bow and arrow? We start with him? Oh, damn it. I should turn speed down, shouldn't I? Hopefully he's got another bow and arrow. Not talk. Take. Well, so far the sound effects seems to be working, so hopefully that's a good sign. Maybe there's something wrong with the latest version of Scum VM. Okay, I don't think there's anything on this screen. We can't climb the rock, we can't climb the trees, we can't do anything with Pan. Let's move on. Numerous water lilies float serenely upon the lovely little pond nestled in these woods. Atop one of the bigger lily pads, you notice a rather large frog, wearing a little gold crown. Oh god, do we have to do this? You say it's large, but honestly, it's about 4 pixels wide by 4 pixels tall, and I assume that's its crown there. Oh jeez. Frog. The large frog stares back at you with big, bulging eyes. It looks more like a swamp than a pond. You see nothing special? This is a very pretty little pond. Floating upon it are many beautiful water lilies. Can I have one? You spy a large frog sitting on top of a big lily pad. And yes! It's wearing a little gold crown. Oops, you scared the frog away. I did not press enter there, it just moved away of its own accord. Can I shoot it with an arrow perhaps? That would be a hell of a shot. You shoot an arrow into the air and it's going to miss, guaranteed. What can I do about this frog? Can I talk to the frog? Ribbit. Ribbit. Well, what else did you expect from a frog? I need to kiss that frog very clearly. First, you need to get close to the frog. Can I sneak up behind it perhaps? No, as soon as I set foot into the pond, it's yeeting out of here. Also, I probably need to pick up the frog first, don't I? As in, you know, hold it in my hands, not get your mind out the gutter, chat. Drink from pond? That's probably a terrible idea. You bend down and drink a bit of the pond water. Well, it's not wonderful, but it satisfies your thirst. I think that's what that said. I can't get close to it. But that's very important, very clearly. Can I take one of these lily pads, perhaps? You have no need for a lily pad. I beg to differ. Numerous water lilies float serenely upon the lovely little pond nestled in these woods. You don't have it? Look for frog. The water is too murky to see anything. If it's too murky to see anything, why are we drinking? Well, that's pretty terrible. A bridge. Yes, I remember the bridge. We'll talk about that in a sec. What can I do about this frog? Yeah, the moment I touch the water, he's running. Just checking something in the Scum VM settings. What have we here? A gentle stream meanders its way through the trees. A rustic stone bridge crosses its path. If we move a bit closer to that bridge, we can keep looking. And similar to Police Quest 2, it is a contextual look. Or is it? I could have sworn that if you used look here, you could see what's under the bridge, because that is very suspicious. Look at bridge. A rustic stone bridge adds a bit of charm to this part of the woods. I could have sworn that worked. I'm so sorry, everyone. Look under bridge. Is there a troll under there? There is not. You kneel down and peer under the bridge. Aha! You have found a small golden ball. You pick it up and carry it with you. We have a gold ball. Anything else here? We have trees. We have a stream. The cold water of the river rushes westward. The trees are numerous in these woods. Yep, if I go south, that's going to take me back to where we first saw the unicorn. It'll come back, I'm just not sure which screen it's going to spawn on. Do I need to potentially give the ball to this thing? Throw ball as frog. Aha! You accidentally drop the golden ball into the pond. From atop a lily pad, a large green frog leaps into the water and disappears from view. A moment later, the frog emerges with, "Yes, your lost ball in its mouth." What's the rating on this game, chat? It seems as if the frog is kindly returning your gold ball to you. There it goes. There he is. Okay. I don't remember this tale very well, but let me pick up the frog. You are too close to the water. Excuse me. You're not near enough. Oh my god. There we go. Squinching up your nose in disgust, you catch the large frog and hold it in your hand. It stares at you with its big, bulgy eyes and wobbles its throat. You look at the frog's green lips. Mmm, good. You feel silly doing this as you slowly put your mouth against the frog's. Suddenly, the little green frog changes into a handsome prince. Yeah, once again, I've heard of that. Oh, yo, the prince demands. I thought you were supposed to be a princess. Why, you're nothing more than a peasant girl. You blanch a bit at that remark, but say nothing. Well, ta-ta, he says. I'm off. Here, you may keep this. To your surprise, he tosses the little golden crown to you as he takes his leave. Good riddance, you think. What a twat. I have to ask whether that kiss would work if we weren't a princess. Once again, I'm not terribly familiar with that story. I assume it only worked because we are actually a princess, but we're dressed as a peasant girl to disguise our identity. Alright, we have a small crown. Yeah, that's a small crown, alright. Can I wear it? That's not a good idea now? I'm assuming that perhaps that's what turned him into a frog in the first place. Alright. I either need to find this unicorn or keep exploring. Right now I don't see the unicorn anywhere. We have the 3 trees on our left. There you are. I think I will shoot you and see what happens. Hopefully you stay here for later. Shoots. He's running. You aim one of Cupid's golden arrows towards the beautiful unicorn. You let go of the bowstring. Zing, bullseye. Yeah, we saw that. The magnificent unicorn is no longer afraid of you. It's now your friend. Will you be my friend? The magnificent unicorn seems unafraid of you now. It nickers softly as you approach. Can I talk to it? Can I whisper sweet nothings to it? You speak gently to the splendid unicorn. It whinnies softly in response. So if I walk away here and then come back, is it going to remain here? Or is it going to follow me around like a little lost unicorn? Okay, it's still unafraid. That's good. I assume it's here permanently now on that screen. Whereas Pan and the loose player can move around a bit. So far, no audio problems. That's good. Can I ride the unicorn? It would not do you any good, as you could mouse the unicorn, but could not guide it. How do we guide the unicorn? Not sure. The raven. Can I talk to the raven? Caw-caw! Don't ask me to do that again. Alright. Let's go down here and then we'll head right again. You see a crude mine shaft in the midst of this forest of pine trees. A mine shaft, okay. The door is wide open. The crude mine is carved into a small hill. Its solid wooden door is propped open. Can I close it somehow, perhaps? Will they get upset if I do that? They being, I don't know, the Seven Dwarfs or whatever. A forest of pine trees in circles here. The sky is nice and blue for now. You see nothing of importance on the ground. Okay, can I get myself killed here? Help! I'm too stupid to get up here. Alright, fine. Jeez, what an ordeal. The door is propped open. It says there it's wide open, but it's actually propped. Can I close the door perhaps? You shouldn't close it. Why not? You have encountered a group of small men working in this diamond mine. They're not too friendly though, as one of them forcefully tells you to leave the premises. Whoa. We just got kicked out by this dude on the left. Okay, I'm pushing buttons. Can I look very quickly? Diamonds glitter and sparkle from the earthen walls of the Seven Dwarfs diamond mine. Within it, you see the little men busily at work. Once again, those apostrophes. They're getting so much correct here, and honestly, I'm kind of stunned. I shouldn't be going this way yet, I should be going south, but whatever. You are roaming through a dense forest. You don't see many shrubs here. You see nothing special. There are rocks here and there. Pine trees? Yep. Alright, what's to the south? You see a large, thatched roof house surrounded by forest, and it looks very formidable. It might be wise to use caution here. Why? Let me just slow the game down a bit. This is a large, crudely built, thatched roof house. It makes you feel uneasy. Yeah, okay, I see. That is a massive house, holy shit. This is a heavy wooden door. What is out the front here? Like a bucket or something? There is nothing in the pail. Can I take it? You can't get that. I mean, that I can understand because it's so dang large. Shall we knock on the door? I think so. I think we are obligated to knock on the door. You cautiously tap at the door, but are greeted only with vicious barking from the other side. Good. You can't. It's locked, and you don't have the key. I'm okay with that. Can I look through these windows, perhaps? Once again, same message. You peek through the window, but can make out no details. See nothing special. Looking at the wood stack here directly in front of me. I mean, I saw this and I got myself killed at least once, but it's still no less freaky. House. You see the back of a large thatched roof house. Same thing there. This is a creepy place. You have found a grove of very odd and scary looking trees. A thick forest surrounds the grove. Yeah, these things can straight up murder us. They are vicious looking trees, aren't they? Best to stay clear of them. Wouldn't you know it? You've been caught. I do wonder if there's a safe path through there. I won't try going that way yet though, because we have plenty of other areas to explore. Yeah, these things can just capture you and murder you instantly. You've really gotten yourself out on a limb this time, Rosella. That's a bit of a long bow to draw, but whatever. Alright, let's keep exploring. Let's go south. We have a house which we cannot enter because it's locked. Thankfully. A thick forest of pine trees surrounds you. You see a house in the distance to the north. I see these pine cones or whatever they are up here. I'm wondering if that's anything that we need to concern ourselves with. It's a screen that I used for my intro recording, way back in video 1. This rundown, gloomy cemetery gives you the creeps. Many of the old tombstones have fallen over, and the entire place is overgrown with grass and weeds. If I go left here, we should find ourselves at the pond. Also, where am I? I'm there. We're in a cemetery. Yep, good. I wonder where the prince went. He can't have gone far. An old rotting tree adds appropriate charm to the decrepit cemetery. What do we call these stones? Here I lie with my 3 daughters, who died drinking Cheltenham waters. If we had stuck to Epsom salt, we should not sleep in this cold vault. Cheltenham, don't know how that's pronounced. Not close enough? Okay, we are looking at all of them, aren't we? 1643. Here lies Nibbery Will. His life was finished because he took ill, but none will miss him, he should have been wiser. It's his own fault for being such a miser. Harsh. Okay, I assume that's nothing. Maybe this was the remains of a door. Like this is the top half of a door perhaps, and it's swung this way? Don't know. But I'm assuming this cross here, yep, that's what we're looking at very clearly. Thorpe's corpse. Brief and to the point, I like it. Here lies the body of Mary Ann Lauder. She burst while drinking a Sedlitz powder. Called from this world to a heavenly rest, she should have waited till it ever vest. These advertisements. Dr. I. Letsum. When people's ill they come to I physics, bleeds, and sweats 'em. Sometimes they live, sometimes they die. Who's that to I Letsum. These are weird. 6 feet beneath, this funeral wreath is laid upon the shelf. One Jerry Jones, who dealt in bones, and now he's bones himself. The gravedigger? Is that important? I don't think so, but I'll bear that in mind. To the ever-living memory of Hiram Bennett, baby son of Edward and Sarah Bennett, who by a sudden surprise fell asleep the 11th day of November, 1553, aged 6 months. Oof. Grim. Okay, that's just a wall. That's something sticking out of the ground there. That must be the gravedigger. Beneath this stone, a lump of clay, lies Uncle Peter Daniels, who, early in the month of May, took off his winter flannels. I'm Australian, I don't get that. Everything is upside down here, chat. Ooh, spoopy. We'll check that out shortly. I plant these shrubs upon your grave, dear wife, that something on this spot may boast of life. Shrubs must wither, and all earth must rot. Shrubs may revive, but you, thank heaven, will not. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm not touching that one. Lord Coningsby, 1559 to 1626. Sleepeth here in peace, an honourable man, a valiant soldier. He served his country well. What about this massive coffin here? That's all the same thing. Strong and athletic was my frame, far from my native home I came, and manly fought with Simon Byrne. Alas, but lived not to return. Reader, take warning by my face, lest you should rue your case too late. If you have ever fought before, determine now to fight no more. I feel like there's a lot of references here, or there's a lot of setup here, but right now I'm not seeing it. I'm just not. Look inside tree, perhaps? There is nothing of importance in the old tree. If we find a shovel, I'm going to dig this one up here. You can see all of these stones here are grey, but this one is not. Also, what is this little flat thing down here? Not that. Another house. No, I assume that's nothing. Okay, we have a cemetery here. Lots of stuff to read, but nothing to do just yet. You have come upon a cute little house built right into a huge tree. An old water wheel attached to the house goes unused beside the little river that flows gently before the house. This river is doing work. It's actually moving from this screen to the left, under the bridge, into the meadow, and then into the sea. This is good stuff. I don't suppose I can enter this house or repair the water wheel, perhaps? The water wheel appears run down and is currently not in use. The roots of this great tree envelop a little snug house. Smoke lazily curls from its chimney, and an old rustic water wheel rests beside the river. I've got to be able to enter this house, surely. A forest of pine trees encircles you? Yeah, nah. I can look at the chimney again, but it does not understand that. Even though it says chimney there. Whatever. See nothing special. What about this river? Same thing there. Alright, can I look in this window? Same thing. It's a small wooden door. You knock loudly on the small door. No answer. We're inside, but I'm very, very scared all of a sudden. Okay, the Seven Dwarfs. How do you know that, Rosella? This is the main room of the Seven Dwarfs' cozy treehouse. What a mess it is. Yeah, I remember what we have to do here. You see a long wooden table. Empty soup bowls are left on it. There is nothing of importance. That looks important, whatever it is. You see many cupboards. There is nothing to interest you in the cupboards. A cheery fire heats a bubbling pot of soup in the fireplace. You see nothing special? No, there's stuff here. The dishes are dirty. I can go in there. Oh my god. You have entered the small upstairs bedroom of the Seven Dwarfs. My goodness, these dwarfs are sloppy. Don't look at my bedroom, dude. Look at beds. There are 7 little beds. What about these drawers? You see nothing special? Okay, so we've established that we don't have time to pick flowers, we don't have time to do anything because we're very limited. So I believe we can clean up in here. I would make a statement about what this game's message is right now, but I don't want to. We're fucking Gwydion all over again. You hear the dwarfs approaching. You watch quietly as the dwarfs file in one by one, get a bowl of soup, and take a seat at the table. So we entered the mine, and we were immediately kicked out. And yes, we can break into this house, clean up the place. If someone entered my house and cleaned it up, I would be furious. Just saying. Everything in my house is in a very, very specific position. And no, nothing has ever gone missing, ever. Yeah, we're a princess and we had to do their cleaning because of reasons. This dwarf must really be hungry. He's getting 2 bowls of soup. The 7 dwarfs seem very pleased that you tidy their messy home. One politely asks you your name. You tell him, and he cordially invites you to sit down with him and eat the bowl of soup he got for you. That's very nice of him. You seat yourself at a table and begin to eat the surprisingly delicious soup. Let me just slow down the game a bit if I can. So if they're here, this means the mine is unoccupied, which is one screen below us. Okay, at the bottom right there, where my mouse cursor is hiding, it's got this thing here which means I can't move, but I do have parser control here. You see 7 small men seated around their dining table, noisily slurping bowls of soup. It looks delicious. You're already eating the soup. You politely talk to the dwarf nearest you. "Where are you from, Rosella?" he asks. You tell him, "Daventry." The dwarf thinks for a moment. "Never heard of it." Again, you engage in conversation. "Is Daventry far from Sabir?" The dwarfs wonder. "Very far," you tell them. "We've got no idea." "How did you get here?" they ask. As you don't want to get into specifics, you tell them, "By sea." That answer seems to satisfy them as they return to their eating. You speak to the nearest dwarf again. He wonders why you are here in Tamir. You explain that you are in the service of Genesta, the good fairy, who wishes to regain her magic talisman from the clutches of Lolot, the bad fairy. "Well, young lady," the dwarf states, "I don't envy you. You're much braver than I am, dealing with that evil fairy." Let's keep talking. Nope. You attempt conversation another time, but the dwarfs tell you they must hurry and finish their soup, as they need to get back to work before dark. Can I stand? Try another way to say that. Leave. Stand up. That is not clear. Finish eating. Take soup. You already have a bowl of soup? Do we really? We do not. It's time for the little men to go back to the mine. "Goodbye and thanks for the soup," you call, as they take their leave. Okay, something's been left on the table there. I suppose I should clean up again, shouldn't I? Wait till you see what I did upstairs. You finished your soup, also. It was the best soup you have ever tasted. Maybe, though, you were just really hungry. We've been through a lot already. Okay, what is on the table there? You see a long wooden table, empty soup bowls are left on us. Can I clean again? You also notice a blue pouch. Okay. Let's clean up again. Speed that up. Phew. I hope that's the last of us. I think it is. Let's grab that pouch. Diamond pouch. You open the diamond pouch and look inside. Many diamonds flash and sparkle from within. Carefully, you close it again so as not to lose any. Do I need to give that back to them, perhaps? I mean, yes, committing casual acts of theft is a part of any adventure game, but I do wonder whether we need to give this back to them. As a sign of our goodwill and honesty and princessly nature or whatever. Can we get up there without falling? Well done. Okay, let's have a look. Talk to dwarfs. You endeavour to engage in conversation with the small men, but they are too busy to reply. The dwarfs have everything they need? No, this is not our pouch. You see the busy little dwarfs hard at work within the diamond mine. The diamonds flash and sparkle from the earthen walls. I can barely spell. One dwarf appears to be idling by the diamond bucket. You see a bucket brim full of sparkling diamonds. Give pouch. Try standing in front of the head dwarf. Being an honest person, you offer the forgotten pouch of diamonds to the dwarf. His gruff exterior softens a bit. "No, you can keep it," he says. "We got plenty here. We also got an extra lantern we ain't using. Here, go ahead and take it." The dwarf's gruffness returns as he says, "Now skedaddle on out of here." Huh. We got a lantern for that. I did vaguely have a memory of that as well, but I wasn't sure if that was the right thing to do. We have a pouch of diamonds and an unlit lantern now. Cool. Okay, let's go right. If we go down from here, we should be in the Spoopy Forest. We are. Ooh. A pretty robin pulls hungrily at a long earthworm. Cheap, cheap? Yeah, whatever. Flies off. What about this earthworm? Or just a worm? You see a fat worm wiggling on the ground. We have a worm. Immediate thought is we can possibly use that as fishing bait. Okay, I can't go south, so let's go up. The stream again, Jesus. You are walking through a forest thick with pine trees. A nearby river rushes westward from the distant mountain range. In the distance, you see a large house. Yeah, we saw that house not all that long ago. It's just beside a cemetery. There are rocks here and there. What about this log? This log looks a bit sus. It does not like the word push. I'll look at the verbs later, perhaps. Okay. We are at a spooky house. Indeed, this is a spooky old house. It looks as if no one has lived here for many years. Flanking the old house on both sides is a rundown cemetery. A thick forest looms all around. Okay, there's a cemetery to the right as well. Interesting. This is not a pleasant house. In fact, It's downright scary. It looks old and abandoned, and badly in need of tender loving care. To make matters worse, it sits right in the middle of an old cemetery. This is a finely carved wooden door. Alright, we won't enter it just yet. I would love to go north and just see where that's going to take us. More spoop. This place gives you the willies. The trees around here are very strange, almost human-like. A dense forest surrounds this odd grove of trees. They are vicious-looking trees, aren't they? And best to stay clear of them. Yeah, they're going to murder us immediately. So the left should just take us to the forest there, with the house in the background. And let me just go here and go right and confirm that there is a cemetery on this side as well. And then I will go check out that house. Okay, so that might be the edge of the map there. I definitely didn't explore all of the places on the map in my brief testing, but I did notice that it was roughly 5x6. The door was not locked. I'm not sure why I didn't knock on it first. This is the entry room of the old house. Downstairs you see 2 open doorways, and upstairs you see an additional 2 doorways. The room is cobwebbed and dusty, with wallpaper peeling from the walls. There is nothing of importance on the walls. What about these pictures? You notice 2 interesting portraits above the downstairs doorways. One of a middle-aged woman, and the other of a young man. You wonder who they are. Or most likely were. An old grandfather clock sits in the corner. With each swing of its pendulum, time relentlessly marches on. Is this a mirror? It is. You look in the broken mirror and see the reflection of a poor but beautiful peasant girl. No, we are a princess. I don't suppose we can take the glass here or something? No. There is nothing of interest inside the grandfather clock. What about this rug? A tattered rug lies on the floor. We don't need the rug. Can I look under it maybe? No. Okay, right-hand room. Oh god, how large is this place? This old dining room has seen better days. The long table is littered with crumbs and dust, and against the wall, the empty hutch is covered with cobwebs. Can I clean in here? No. It worked in the Seven Dwarfs place, but it does not work here. Because reasons. The dusty old table is littered with crumbs. You see the cemetery out the window. You don't have time to sit in the chair. What else do we have here? A cupboard? The empty hutch. You can't do that now. There is nothing of interest in the hutch. Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I think we might be back here later. Is this Gwydian's kitchen? The old kitchen is quite bare. The fireplace has been cold for years, and the dusty pantry is empty, but for old crumbs. There's got to be something in here. The fireplace is stone cold. An empty cooking pot sits in it. Can I take that pot? The cooking pot is empty and useless. You do not need it. Okay, fine. The barrel is empty. You can't use it. We have a little ladder here. An old ladder sits in the middle of the floor. You can't get that? The pantry is bare. There is nothing that interests you on the kitchen shelves. What on earth is going to happen later? I can already tell something's going to happen later because there's nothing here. They would not have created this area unless it comes in handy later. I don't know what else to try here. Damn it. There is a candle directly to the right of Rosella's head there, and we cannot grab it. This looks remarkably similar to the layout of Whitting's place, or Manannan's place, I should say. Alright, what's behind door number 1? This old bedroom must have once been very nice. You can imagine a cheery fire in the fireplace, while its occupants slept snugly, try saying that 10 times fast, in the big bed. But sadly, this room has been abandoned for years. I needed about 4 goes to read that, and during those 4 goes, I have seen the ceiling. There is something there. I do not know what yet. Yep. You look up at the ceiling and notice a closed trapdoor. Let's have a look around. The fireplace has been cold for years. There's nothing there. No, I've played Resident Evil 7, and indeed many other games. You see the cemetery. The old bed still looks comfortable. We don't have time for that. Sit on bed. Look under bed, maybe? Nothing under the bed. There's got to be a way that we can lower that trapdoor. We can't do that now. The lamp is old and dusty. That's talking about the lantern, not the lamp. How do we lower this trapdoor? I said open door because it looks like we can open, or these look like doors that open up perhaps. You have absolutely no way of reaching that trapdoor as it's too high, and moving the heavy furniture is out of the question. Forget it. I'll forget it for now, but we're going to be coming back here. I can see that already. Another bedroom, another broken mirror. It appears as if this was once the master bedroom. However, cobwebs hang everywhere, and dust covers the furniture. Doesn't work. Same thing with that mirror. The old bed is massive and dominates the room. Nothing there either. I feel like I'm not being very creative with my verbs right now. I mean, I normally never am when I open my mouth, but especially with this game. Oh, what the fuck is this? That's terrifying. This old baby nursery must have once been a cheery place. Now, through neglect, cobwebs decorate the corners, wallpaper peels from the walls, and dust covers the nursery furniture. There is an old rocking horse here. You don't need the horse. Can I ride the horse? You're too big for it, indeed. Rock horse? You see nothing special? Like, I feel like we should be able to open all these things and look at them. The chest of drawers is empty. What about this crib? You see an empty cradle here. I'll never get anywhere with that. I realize that now. I realize it now, but I'll probably make the same mistake about 20 times before we're done. You imagine the mother who must have rocked her baby in this rocking chair. Or father. Considering the disarray of the rest of the house, the parlour looks in relatively good order. However, the fireplace is cold and unused, the bookshelves are almost bare, and the old furnishings are dusty. There's something on this table here. The furniture is old and dusty. Why is that portrait looking left? You examine the few remaining books on the shelves. Only one catches your attention. It is entitled The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. Is that typo intentional? You remove the Shakespeare book from the shelf and carry it with you. Huh. Okay. Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed? Of comforts no man speak. Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors, and talk of wills. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. You may my glories and my state depose, but not my griefs, still am I king of those. You spotted snakes with double tongue, thorny hedgehogs, be not seen, newts and blind worms do no wrong, come not near our fairy queen. Is this really Shakespeare? The world is grown so bad that wrens make prey where eagles dare not perch. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. That's from Romeo and Juliet, I believe. To hold, as were, the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time his form and pressure. Tut! I have done 1,000 dreadful things as willingly as one would kill a fly. He jests at scars that never felt a wound, but, soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Oh, Romeo, I can't do that with a straight face. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. That is directly out of Romeo and Juliet, I know that for a fact. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Anything else? This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. How sour sweet music is when time is broke and no proportion kept. So is it in the music of men's lives. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. How oft the sight of men's to do ill deeds makes ill deeds done. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night, till it be morrow. Oh my god, how much more is there? In thy face I see the map of honour, truth, and loyalty. The day shall not be up so soon as I, to try the fair adventure of tomorrow. So I do wonder just how many of these are puzzle solutions. Look how my ring encompassed thy finger, I can barely pronounce that. Even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart, wear both of them, for both of them are thine. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Come on. Oh my god. How much more? I am that merry wanderer of the nights. I jest to Oberon and make him smile. When I, a fat and bean-fed horse, beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal, and sometimes lurk I in a gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a rested crab. No beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity. Kiss me, Kate, we will be married on Sunday. I'm starting to wonder if Shakespeare was on the good ship. How far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good bead in a naughty world. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Okay, I'm done. Enough of that. What else have we got in this room? Fireplace. The fireplace hasn't been used in years. An interesting portrait of a young girl, I thought it was a dude, hangs above the fireplace. You gaze at it intensely and notice that her eyes seem to stare at the left wall of the parlour. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Something's not right there. You examine the books on this side of the room. None of these books are up to the quality of reading you're used to. And what do you normally read, Rosella? You examine the few remaining books on the bookshelves, none interest you. And yet we're interested in fucking Shakespeare. Remind me to never become a princess, chat. There is nothing of interest in the dusty old cabinets. Ah, this wall. Ooh. You examine the left wall very closely and notice a little latch. You could try flipping the little latch in the left wall. You flip the latch in the wall, and behold, you have discovered a secret door. Unfortunately, I can't do Agent 47 and his hidden door. I just can't. I don't have the voice. A shovel. Fine. I'm taking that outside immediately. You have found a secret tower. Narrow steps spiral dizzyingly upward. We're going to get hosed by those stairs, I can see that already. A torch burns on the wall. The torch is firmly attached to the wall. We can't take it with us. The stairs. The steps are narrow, steep, and spiral upwards. The secret door opens into the parlour. Right, so let's try climbing these stairs and see if we can get ourselves killed. Oh my god. The steps spiral steeply up the stone tower of this old house. Where are we going? So there's actually a guardrail here, which is very much appreciated. Oh, that's so confusing. I need to push up here, like the up arrow, to go towards me. It's a cool effect, but Jesus. And do you know how to play the piano, Rosella? Or the organ? Because I do not. A dusty old pipe organ sits in the centre of the tower room. The tower stairs spiral steeply downward. Dust and cobwebs cover the old organ. It would be better to move to the inside of the bench. So we can sit down here, but nowhere else. Do I know how to play the organ? I'll take that as a yes. Wow. What a virtuoso you are, Rosella. Indeed. Okay, did that change anything downstairs perhaps? Like, am I going to get down there and find that the place is occupied by ghouls and ghosts and shit? That was actually quite impressive. No change. Not that I can see anyway. Let me just make sure there's nothing to the left here. There is not.